Well, here's what we have. I have here 4 different colonies for different purposes. Actually, no, I've got five different colonies. And I am going to be moving one of them from a 14 frame Layens Hive, which they are outgrowing, to a 25 frame Layens Hive. Now, for those of you who may have only experienced beekeeping in the Langstroth system, a single Layens frame is slightly larger than a single Langstroth deep. Let me, before I go into that again, let me go through. There's the hive that we're going to be moving. You can see they're hanging outside, partly because it's hot, but partly because they're overcrowded. We're going to move them into a new hive that's the same size as that one. Now that I'm looking at that, I think I set these slightly lower than I would have preferred. Other colonies here, you can see I moved. There used to be one on those cinder blocks in the back, and I moved them into this one last weekend. This one was the, there we go, the white what's the coroplast hive was what we cut out of the fallen tree branch. I don't remember the origins of that one. It was a cutout or a swarm or something. And then the 14 framer here is one that I suspect to be Africanized, and I've brought them back here until I have the opportunity to requeen them, because their previous home was not a place where I could leave bees with any significant degree of aggression in place. So now what I'm going to do, and I think I'm still going to be slightly in frame, I'm going to pick up a couple of shims that I used for leveling here. We'll make use of those another time. And then I'm going to move the cinder block stand where a 14 frame used to be. I'm going to make a stand for the coroplast colony there. And you may ask, why not just leave it in place and move them over here? And the answer is, I'm going to try to move them as little as possible, because they're now orientated on their present location. And so I'm going to try to move them just right there. Thought I should bring this out and check my level. Pretty good. All right. So we're going to just get them up off the ground. And I'm not going to leave them, well, I may after all. It's not my desire to leave them in the coroplast for very long. But I am just about at my limit of other hives. By the way, I'm going to be doing some heavy lifting, and it is hot. I have a, what's it called, Frog Togs fabric on top of my head to help me stay a little bit cool. Let me get my smoker going again. So I've got some evaporative cooling that's hopefully going to help me a little bit. But it is hot. So if you hear me breathing heavy, it's a combination of lifting these heavy hives and the heat. I do believe I'm well hydrated, so Trying to stay that way. Got a big mug of tea in the truck. Okay, this will be the tough part. Manhandling this 25 frame hive made out of 2x lumber. One of the selling points for Layens is it's supposed to be easier on the back because you're not lifting whole boxes full of heavy frames of honey. And that is true except when you're first installing them. Okay, now I have a particular direction I want this to go because I want, again, to keep it as close to the orientation that they were in before as I can. So as I go in with it, I'm going to put the entrance on the same side, same direction as the hive I'm moving them from. Okay. There we go. Perfect fit. Oh, and I just realized a mistake. So later, when I'm working this frame, I'm going to want to work it from right here. Or this, I said frame, this hive. It does look like I'm going to need a little shim. Let's see, I should probably check that balance with these frames in here. All right. That will be my measure of our orientation that way. So as long as I shim up these corners that want to fall, our level is good. Good enough in both directions. All right. All right, I have come to the attention of one of the bees, even though I'm not doing anything to them yet. That's all right. I'm well protected. I have not often made much to do with the equipment that I use, and I suppose there might be some who are interested. I've got this full bee suit. I'm very happy with it, except that I often prefer to go in less than a full bee suit. This is from Guardian, and it works very well. I also have a jacket, and when I'm using the jacket, that one is from where is that one from? Did I get that from? Yeah, I got that from Texas Bee Supply. It's their, I think they call it their super suit, and its advantage is it has the round veil, which I like a lot. All right, now I'm going to slide these frames back so that I've got room to move the others. And I'm going to set you up so you've got a good view of what I'm going to do from here on out. All right, I don't think I need to bring the lid over yet. So at the beginning, I'm not going to worry about these bees that are in the front. They're bearding, and they'll do what they're going to do. Where did I leave my hive tool when I was out here last? Maybe I packed it away with my stuff. That's all right, I've got more. I try to keep one hive tool easily visible in each apiary. Here's the box they're going to go in. So they're going to move probably about 6-7 feet from where they are, but their entrance will be in the same orientation. And I think if I set your point of view up right here, then I can show you what we're looking at. Maybe I can get that hive in the background, and I can show you each frame as it goes in. Okay, hive tool. Got it. And I'll bring the lid over. Now these hives are homemade, and I've got insulation in the lid. All right. So now we're just going to begin. I'm going to open up this hive back here, and I'm going to start bringing frames over without too much concern about inspection, although I will keep an eye out for the queen. Oh, should have remembered to smoke first. Now for right now, I'm just going to put this lid right down in the new hive. I've got some frames in here that hopefully they'll migrate to. And I'll come back over here and give them a little smoke. Okay, now they're acting like they're... I should have smoked first, but still. They're really on me. All right, girls, we're going to give you a housing upgrade is what we're going to do. You may not like the process, but you'll like the end result. All right, so I'm breaking apart the divider board from the propolis that they had on it. I'm separating the last frame, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 frames. And right now, I'm just going to be making some space with all of these frames. I'm going to start, well, I may have to do it other than my preferred way. I think I am going to go ahead and start with the end. Now, this one will be solid honey very soon. And I'm just going to put it right here. And my hope that those bees would migrate off the lid isn't working out. Now, it sounds like I've got one in my veil. I'm not sure how it would have managed that. Nope. I think it was just pinched somewhere. I think it's possible that their excess irritation might be largely because the weather, it's a little on the cloudy side, a little on the muggy side. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is frame 8. I think I've been putting these frames in the wrong direction. Well, that one was right. I think it was just this one. All right, 3 frames done out of 11. So once again, for those of you who've only kept bees in Langstroth, to have these 11 frames is, let's see, how did I grab that? I think it's like that. Have those 11 frames is more or less like having an absolutely full brood chamber where they're competing with the queen for places to lay or to store. So the workers want to store nectar, the queen wants to lay, and so the workers end up backfilling and the queen has to move to remote parts of the hive to lay the eggs she needs to lay. And what I'm doing today is more or less the equivalent for Layens. Apart from moving the box, I should have just had a larger box to start with. But it's more or less the equivalent of adding a super. It's giving them more frames so that they have a better place to store their honey. And so they leave the queen with her brood nest. All right. All right, 4 more, and I think I've got room on this end for them. Heat is oppressive today. So here's the divider board that we used. Ouch. I know that sometimes there are folks watching my beekeeping who complain that I'm not taking adequate care with the bees, and my replies are twofold. Most of the time, I actually am, and the little things that I can do to prevent squishing bees, um, they happen faster than you might notice on camera. So when I'm lowering a frame in place, I am taking due care to to make sure that I'm not squashing bees um, as best I can. Nobody can completely avoid that. Like I'm being careful with the spacing, not to hit the sides and squeeze bees. And as I push them together, I'm being careful as much as I can not to squeeze them as I compress the frames. Same things everybody faces, and I know there are people who aren't beekeepers and who see that and think it's terrible disregard, but sometimes you do accidentally squeeze some of the bees. We want to minimize it, but we recognize we can't eliminate it. The other thing I would say about that is that there are times, such as in this operation, that the value of completing the task quickly is higher than the value of preserving the life of every individual bee in the colony. So I am moving a little bit hastily, and there are no promises that there are no bees squished in this move, but it is for the good of the colony at large. I'm going to try to reclaim some of this good propolis. All right. And now I'm going to start moving the brood nest back together. And we'll encourage the bees that are still on the other hive, on the front of it, on the inside of it. I'm going to encourage them to, by brushing into this hive. Then I'm going to take the old hive away and leave them to figure it out. Okay, the frames are moved. Now I think what I'm going to do, I've got 4 new frames that I'm experimenting with. I took Langstroth plastic foundation, cut it to size to fit Layens frames. I know this colony is just about as tight for space as this one, so I'm going to leave 2 of these new frames here. And then put 2 in that other hive once all is done. The other thing I need to do is I need a divider, a separator, elevator, I guess, for the, oh, they've got those all glued down, so I'm going to get a different one. Just need a couple of sticks to allow the bees to come and go under the frames and under the divider board. And I've got a divider board that fits for the first time for this colony. Oh, all right, I am tired. Looks like I need shims for the chloroplast hive too. All right, that's a little better anyway. All right, now I'm going to get my bee brush. We're going to try to brush off as many as we can. Well, where did I leave my bee brush? Oh, there it is. We're going to brush as many as we can out of the lid, the old lid. Let me check my field of view, see if you're going to be able to see. All right, we'll turn it a little bit this way. All right, we dumped a lot of them. If you could see in the bottom here, they're making a beeline straight into the hive, which is exactly what I want. Their current hangout has been disrupted, and they probably both see the darkness of the new hive and smell the other bees in there, maybe the queen already. Somebody may be asking, why have you not been looking for the queen? And mainly it's just because that would make this job too long and drawn out. If I didn't move the queen, she may move on her own. But not that I've given up. I'm still going to take that hive and shake it out, brush it out, and try to get these bees into the new hive. But they have the resources so that if I didn't get her in here, they can make a new queen. Okay. One thing I don't like about this suit is that the veil hangs so close to my face that if I'm not careful about how I hold my head, I can end up with bees touching my nose, and I don't want that. All right, up we go. I thought I saw a red marked queen, but what it actually is the brightest orangish red pollen you ever saw. It stands out about like neon. Got a traffic jam at the entrance. That's the problem with doing something like this. Removals, migrations, is that if that entrance gets blocked up, it'll take them a long time to figure out how best to unjam it. A little smoke at the entrance and the traffic jam will go away, and then pretty quickly they'll find their way to make it into the entrance. All right, here they go. A lot of them are taken to the air. They're going back over there, and that's okay. Now that we've reduced the numbers somewhat, I'm going to try to bounce some more of them. All right, now I'm going to take these two frames and give them to this other colony. Okay, well, they're not all out of the box. I'm going to take it over to my truck tailgate. And see if we can spot a queen in there. Oh, one last attempt to shake out the stragglers from the old lid. We'll go put the old lid on the old hive. Maybe if I smoke them over there, that will make them move back to their old location or to the new location. Either one should work out okay. I believe that by dark this evening, they'll figure out that this is their new living space. Okay, I'm going to leave them to their own devices and trust that they find their way home. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Recommend me to others if you're inclined to. Thank you.